Hey bud, I'm recording this to keep you in the loop about what's going on here in Shreveport. You saved my bacon, so I feel like I owe it to you to keep in touch. If things go south and I get killed off, this'll serve as a record, or maybe just a recap of my exploits. For anyone else listening in, I go by the name Reiter, but folks in my circles know me as Rogue Rabbit. I don't remember much from before. Well, let's just call it the incident. What I do know is I've always been good with computers. Damn good. Hardware, software, the whole deal. But that's just the start of the story. I'm more than just a tech head. I'm a rogue, a rebel. I see life as a show, and my role. It's to break conventions, mess with the script, and have a hell of a time doing it. People without a clue? I call them NPCs, background characters in a world they don't realize isn't quite what it seems. So I keep moving, keep digging, and keep hacking to see what's behind the curtain. Life needs to stay interesting, right? The powers that be, they can burn in their own propaganda. I'll keep playing the part of the jester and expose their game whenever I can. So this is my story. I don't remember much from before the incident that made me who I am today. What I do know is that from a young age, I was a computer whiz. And as I got older and started learning about hardware, I really took off. Computers are basically just rocks we've trained to think faster and more accurately than us, despite our million-year head start. In just a few decades, they've become essential to modern society. It won't be long before we and machines become inseparable, a singularity, if you will. Despite all that, I started feeling like there was something more to life that I couldn't quite explain. It was like an itch I couldn't scratch. So I dug online, posting, reading obscure deep web forums, and mingling with some sketchy people with wild opinions about what's wrong with society. Then one night, I got a private message. Just 13 words, but it pushed me over the edge. Suddenly, I felt eyes on me, everywhere. I panicked and ran to my car to escape them. These eyes that I couldn't see but knew were there. In a haze, I drove like a maniac through the rain, trying to drown out their whispers and laughter with loud music. Didn't help. You know that feeling of dread right before something terrible happens? Like reaching the peak of a roller coaster, except it kept building and building. I never saw it coming when the car got T-boned. Next thing I know, I wake up in a hospital bed with a couple of suits asking me strange questions about reality. I thought it was all psychological mumbo-jumbo and played along. Then things got tense, and just as they were about to put a bullet in my head, you showed up and saved my ass. You know the rest. I got a new identity, and that's how I became Reiter. Fast forward, and I'm teleported right onto Tony Giovanni's property, where I met the people I now call my associates. I hesitate to use the word friends, since I haven't really done much with them yet. Except for that time, I uploaded a virus into a strip club owner's computer to monitor for vampiric activity, at Tony's request, and watched Tony's cousin blow 2 cops to get them to leave us alone. Other than that, I've mostly kept to myself, working on my computer until I felt destiny calling. That's when I went to the church our priest friend had been fixing up. There, I met our new companion, a goth pagan chick named Camilla, who's into blood magic. I tried to see if she was chill by calling her babe a lot, and blasting music in the car. She seems like she can hang. After that, we checked out this supposedly haunted hospital to look for vampires or ghosts. While I was recording, some rebar flew out of nowhere and stabbed me in the arm. I didn't stick around after that. I kept working on my laptop and slowly healing until I ended up going on a wild night I can't remember. Now, my car's confiscated pending investigation. I'm thinking of getting a Civic Type R. What can I say? I'm a sucker for Honda. Then Tony called and said we were getting a new member and going to investigate a paper mill he suspected had vampires. Derek, his cousin, wanted to burn it down because of the bad mojo inside, but Tony wanted to study it first. We went in and I went stealth mode with my katana. Camilla got caught up in some fleshy wall tentacles, but Derek saved her, and a fight broke out with some vampires. I took the opportunity to investigate since the rest of the team seemed to be handling it, especially after the priest showed up. Turns out the whole building was alive and designed to eat people, with some weird pink vampire-werewolf hybrid fueling it. Think Poison Ivy from Batman meets Monster House. So yeah, that's been my month and a half. Oh, right, I should tell you about my party. First, we've got Tony. He's an Italian mobster obsessed with alchemy, weird experiments, and vampires. His whole family is made up of vampires with a knack for necromancy and a tendency to indulge in, well, pretty much anything they want, living or dead. The fact that Tony doesn't look like he's straight out of the hills have eyes amazes me. Next up is Tony's cousin, Derek. Big guy, kind of looks like a monkey now for some reason. All I know is that he loves to work out, fight with his knuckles, and is deeply loyal to his family despite their complicated relationship with vampires. His grandpa is a vampire. He comes off as a bit of a brute and a dullard, but we'll see where he goes from here. Then there's Camilla, the bloody pagan. I don't know much about her other than that she wants to find her parents and has some kinky stuff going on online. She's into blood magic, so I'm keeping an eye on that. The priest goes by the name Carpenter. He's a former Knight Templar turned independent Holy Crusader. He's alright, and I respect the whole going independent part, while still sticking to his principles, even if it means starting over. And last but not least, there's Jim. He's a homeless, crippled guy who's our newest member. I know next to nothing about him, but I suspect there's more to him than meets the eye. Tony might have picked him up just to mess with me, but who knows? I guess we'll wait and see.